Today we will be talking about logic to learning, how we moved from logic to learning. So this whole talk, or you can say, I will say rather discussion, I divided into two parts. So the first part will be about the evolution of AI. I mean this expert logic to AI, how we moved and how much, I mean what role it's playing in our education system, specifically in modern research, right? In academic research. So you see here now on my screen, the one snapshot, logic to learning. Okay, one more thing before we move on, let me add. Uh, of course, we have a Q&A session at the end of, this discussion. But if you have any question, just unmute and you can speak to me. Or whenever I have some question, you can just leave it in the chat box, and I will try to, pick it from there. Or you can just unmute and speak. So I say logic to learning, right? And of course, logic is not something new. It is dated back, I will say, I think centuries ago. We Indians are well versed with logic. Even before Aristotle, we knew what logic is, right? So this is not new. But for this computer, actually, it was something in 1950 or late 50, exact date, I'm not sure. But where this era of computer system started, and there this introduction of logic to the machine started, in fact. Even we have our calculators, so there is some logic there in also. But I will call that era as symbolic logic. Now you see here on the screen, there is one flowchart. Something comes to your mind, I'm sure. What do you feel about it? What it is? If then, this is a flowchart kind of stuff. So why we are using flowchart? What they are, in fact, you all must be knowing it. And of course, I have gone through it. I think when I was doing my master from the same university, CCS University. So this is something like an inference rule. So we design a rule and then we use it for different purposes. So what I will be calling it, it's not AI. What if we
Professor
perceive
Kelly,
AI?
your slides are not moving.
Now can you?
No, no. Only first, yeah, it is okay now. It's okay.
Oh my goodness. Let me check here now. Okay, let me do one thing. I think the setting of sharing might be different. Let me check here now. Window. Let me share the window then. Now, can you see it here? It's moving now? Sir?
In, no, no slide is on the
What do you see on my screen now? Nothing?
No, only not. Please share again.
Okay, let me check here now. Stop sharing. Stop sharing. Okay, let me share. Let me share the entire screen, then I believe it will be fine. Okay, now it's visible?
Visible now. It's okay.
Okay. It's moving now? Okay. So let's come back to the topic, and sorry for interruption. This is how, we play with technology, it happens actually. So what I was saying that this AI, so-called AI, I will call it symbolic AI, by the way. It was something, a collection of rules. So what we were doing, we were simply using those rules for our, different purposes. Say, for example, if you remember, when we created expert systems, so we were training with the help of any domain expert, say for example any doctor or someone expert in that area. If we create an expert system for diagnostic, right, diagnostic purpose. If I'm not wrong, I think we had some software. I remember it was Norton, I think. Then there was one PC doctor. So what was happening? In fact, we were training. I mean, a programmer was sitting with the doctors, the team of doctors. They were asking them what kind of system you need. So those doctors will be giving them, they will be giving to the programmer a list of symptoms and then the list of output, means the disease here now. So if these symptoms are visible, then this disease may be there, so and so forth. So this is how it was being used. Then later, this fuzzy logic was introduced, right? And then this expert system based on fuzzy logic became a little bit smarter, because there we were not saying that this symptom is present or absent. We will say this symptom is present up to some extent, up to some degree, or absent up to some degree. So these systems became a bit smarter. But the problem here is, if you see here now, we set different rules. Say, for example, 2, 3, 4, 500 rules. But in real, they look better, but not in real life. They look better if we need some finite set of rules that works with our system, and we can provide any input, say for example symptoms, list of symptoms, and a list of a disease will pop up. And then with the help of some human judgment, the doctors conclude, okay, this could be the disease here now. But now the real life is not, so you can say, so finite or deterministic. So what happens in real life? We have then so many complex rules. We don't know even what those rules are. Even if I continue with this example of this diagnosis, there might be so many, you can say, symptoms which are not known to the human even. So if we don't know the symptoms, how we will create an expert system? Even if they are known, they might be very large in numbers. So if we know those symptoms and the disease, and we create an expert system or inference engine or model or algorithm, whatever we call it, then it will take too much time, because we have induced so many rules in that system. That system is lagging now. It's being slower and slower, and then sometimes it becomes useless. This is where we needed this era of learning. So what is happening now in era of learning? How we transformed what was the need, as you can observe from the previous slide, what I was saying, that this rule-based system is not feasible to map human intelligence. So human intelligence cannot be mapped, cannot be programmed by using those rules. So what happened? Now you see on the slide, this is the era of neural network starts. So we started training our expert system. Now I will not say it expert system. It will slightly now moving towards AI now. So now we started training our AI something like our human brain. So we were using neurons, right? So same what we have. So we try to first read how this human brain works, okay, how these neurons, transmit the signal to another, and so forth. So what is happening? How our brain read any information, means how we retrieve, how we read and we get input, and then how we take decision, means how we reveal an output. So this is where something this scientist or this academician, they try to train the system based on something similar to our human brain actually. So our human brain is not designed to read only the rules. So what happened? We say, for example, if I see a picture, right? If my parents suppose told me this picture belongs to so and so, so my parents trained me. Oh, this picture is so and so. Or suppose we see any living or non-living entity. We say, suppose I see a cat or a dog. How I know? Because my parents told me, or someone surrounding me told me that this is a dog. So we saw so many pictures. So something similar was happening with the AI now. So what is the is something like in expert system we set rules, right? Then we supply input and output will be we receive output. But in AI now, in neural network, no, things are different now. So there is a fundamental difference between the expert system and AI based learning. So what is happening now? We call it era of learning. So what is happening? The system is learning on its own. So what we do? We supply input and or output both. Say, for example, let me continue with this example of dog. So what we do, we supply some thousands and thousands of images or maybe voice or whatever. The data may be in any form. So we were supplying, say, for example, image. We were supplying so many, some thousand and thousand images to the system. And we classify it as one category, suppose dog. So we were supplying some thousand pictures of dog and we say this is dog, hello, this is dog. So what happened? The system will generate pattern. And I will not go deeper how it generates pattern. I mean, this is clustering or I mean regression based model, whatever actually it will be using, the system will be using. So it generates its own rules. So now there is no limit on number of rules, and we don't know how many rules it will be generating. Based on the pattern, based on the input and output, a pattern will be created by the system. So this is the part of training of AI. And now, once these rules are created, this inference engine is created, this model is built by the system. We use this model for different purposes. And then this model does wonder to the real life. Okay, let me give you one example here now. If I don't know how many of you might be aware of deep learning, what we say, not deep learning actually, this is something like deep mind. It was a lab, AI lab. I think it was in London, invented in sometime in 2010, I believe. And this deep mind, what they will be doing, they will be just training the system based on different data, set of data actually. And now this data was being fed to the system. Based on that data, it will create model and then they will test the model for, I mean, on different inputs. And it was working wonders. So what happened? Then Google, they realized the potential of this deep mind. And I think in 2014, if I'm not wrong, they acquired this deep mind. And what happened? This deep mind then was used for some protein manifold, right? Protein fold, sorry, not manifold. I'm being a mathematician. Manifold comes again. Okay, so protein fold. This the protein. Of course, if someone is here from biology, they must be knowing how these proteins are built, how they are folded. The proteins are folded by proteins. What they are actually? They are 3D structures, and they are the combination of amino acids. So before this deep mind, what was happening? These biologists or the scientists, what they were doing, they were identifying the structure of protein using X-ray crystallography. I think there was one technique called crystallography. So they were using crystallography with the help of X-ray, and then they will be identifying the protein. Okay, if this is the sequence of amino acids, this will be the structure of the protein. So what was happening? It was taking too much time, months, and sometimes even years to identify one single protein. So what happened? Then they approached this deep mind, and this what this deep mind people did? They started supplying amino acids, the inputs as amino acid, the sequence of amino acids, outputs as the existing proteins. So they started supplying input and input. Input was sequence of amino acids or different amino acids, and then output was protein. You know what happened? In minutes or hours, it came out with some remarkable results with, I mean, significant accuracy. and it was wonders. So what this AI did in hours, the scientists, the biologists, they were struggling even for years. This is where they realized the potential of AI. So it was confined up to the labs till that time. AI, it was not in our common, in common public. So this is where, what was happening then. This AI, this business community, this like Amazon or Google or many others, we don't know the name of all, they started using AI. The same expert, this DeepMind or some other kind of model. That there were different models working on same structure or same logic, something similar. So they started using it and they realized the potential. So now, say for example, Amazon know the behavior of a consumer. Say, for example, if you are going to, and even sometimes they started here now knowing, oh, if so and so, if one consumer A is buying one item X, so how many times he or she is buying? Okay, what are the, in which month, which date, right? And even, okay, if one is buying one product X, he or she is buying Y along with it. Say, for example, if one is buying milk, then most probably bread also, the same consumer is buying bread also. They started reading the pattern and which helped them to give the accurate pattern of consumer behavior. And they started creating their, marketing strategy using this same kind of stuff. Right? So this, but it was until that time, it was confined up to the labs or it was in hands of these different big groups or companies. Then come 2022, and you see a boom here now, slight boom. Any idea what happened in 2022? Another Pokhran? I don't know, the audience, they might be aware of the Pokhran India tested two nuclear devices in Pokhrans, but this is not Pokhran. We did not do any Pokhran in 2022. What it is? This is
बेटा आज वो देख
this.
ले प्रूफ आज देख आज
Can you hear? Sir, can you hear me?
yes sir, yes, your voice is coming.
Okay, okay. Shall I continue?
Yes, yes sir, yes.
Okay, okay, okay. So then comes 2022 and a boom. What this boom was? It was generative AI actually. So what this generative AI is, how different it is. In fact, this is something similar concept. I'll say similar, but not same. Right? So read it here now, please, the line. Otherwise, you will be chasing me. Why is it same? No, they are similar. So this actually, the AI, the neural network, what was happening? This was based on machine learning. So machine was learning on and on and on. But now what happened? These companies or different labs, they were using the data. They were using that machine learning, or I call it AI there, or neural network, whatever. They were using it to classify the customer. Okay, this is customer A and A. So these customer lie in this category, so and so forth. But they were not generating data. Oh, sorry, they were not generating data. They were not creating data, right? The data was there. They were trained. The machine was not creating data. Humans were creating the data for machine, and these scientists were feeding input, output, and they were creating. The machines were creating pattern. Okay, but on the back end, they kept supplying this data to the machine, and then they supplied huge, enormous amount of data to machines. So now these machines became giant, right? If you see here now, say for example, there is a child, maybe 1 or 2 years old child. He knows. Suppose you ask him or her what is this animal. He might be knowing. Okay, this is animal. This is human. This is my papa. This is my mama. So and so forth. But he or she does not know this animal is harmful or not. Is it dangerous or not? No, because the information is limited. Same is the case with AI. So what happened? That child was not generating something new. It was generating, but a limited data was being generated by the child. Why? Because the limited input and output he had with him. But by passing each day, the child was being trained, and then he started taking decision on its own. Same is the case with AI now. So what happened with AI? Now AI is being so huge, this enormous amount of data made it a giant, so that now it started generating own data, own words, own language. So why we call it large language model here now? Because this data, this system is trained on enormous amount of data, humongous amount of data in fact. So we call it large language model. So this is what was happening there, okay? And now when this 2022 came, this AI was invented. I remember the days. I remember one of my colleague actually. One day he came. I was not aware of it actually because sometimes this technology doesn't reach to you directly. It comes through your colleagues, your friends, or different resources. So I was not aware. One day, one gentleman from English department, he came to me. I think he was a bit, I think, or maybe Canadian. I'm not sure. He came to me. He said, "Doctor, one chat GPT is now in the system, and our job." He was English teacher, by the way, is at threat. I said, "What happened?" He says, "Now everything, whatever we teach to our system, we generate for our system, our students here, can be done by the AI, the generative AI. It is generating everything. You ask it to write an essay, it will write. It will ask AI to write an email, it will create email. It will write an email. Ask anything related to language, it will come with perfection. So he says they may be obsolete. So everyone started thinking, oh, this is a magic now. So we are now seeing this genetic AI as a magic. But the question here is it a magic? Can the human race be obsolete? Can the human race be, I mean, we can say this GPT may be more intelligent? I don't know in future. No one knows actually. But still, we human are far, far, far ahead of this genetic AI. But again, having said, let me add one thing. We should not be refraining ourselves from any technology. We should pace with it. We should learn it. We should use it, but use it wisely. I I usually give an analogy. See this gun, Klasnikov, whatever we call it, AK-47. It could be dangerous. Yeah, of course, it is fatal if used by a terrorist. But if the same Klasnikov, same gun, it will say something. सेंट्रल मार्केट 200 का मिल रहा था, मैं चलो आज ले आते हैं। तो जिस दुकान पे गए थे उस दिन वो 3
Audience, please unmute. Audience, please mute yourself.
Shall I continue, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry. So this is, I mean, I don't know where it was. So we perceive it as something like an angel or something magic was happening, but this is not a magic. Okay, so now let's demystify this magic, what it is actually. You see here now on my screen. And if you might have observed, not even when this generative AI, when this chat GPT came in 2022, but something was there happening with your emails, particularly Gmail. If you remember, when you were typing a text, you are suppose replying something or you are typing an email, sometimes you see one word ahead. It will show one word, next word. So it was some sort of AI, something similar to generative AI. Generative AI, the chat GPT is doing it large level, but it was happening there even. So it was something giving you most plausible, most probable word, next word. That word could be wrong, could be right. So if it was wrong, right, you just enter and then the word will, without typing, this word will pop up there, right? So now something similar is here now with generative AI. So this is not a magic. It's not a god actually. It's a probabilistic model. So be careful. I'm using the word probabilistic model. It's not deterministic. Say, for example, if you use calculator, you ask this calculator, you solve 100 plus 102, it will give you a number, definite number. You add the same number again and again and again, it will give you a number. Okay. If you use your calculator to solve a quadratic equation or a cubic equation, it will give you definite values. But this AI, at least in the beginning, the ChatGPT, generative AI, I mean Gen AI, let me call it Gen AI now onwards. Gen AI will not give you same similar answer. And you know what happened? So what it will do? It will use the probable word. Say, for example, the cat sat on. Usually, when it was being trained, this sentence, the cat was sitting on a mat. The cat was sitting on a mat. It might have appeared so many times. So now it created a pattern in its, you can say, in its memory. But I will not use the word memory because there is no database in GenAI. So, but it know that this cat must be sitting on mat. So once you type the cat sat on, it will show you the word mat because the probability of cat to be sitting on mat is higher, right? So something here, but this is not a magic, right? Let me show you. Let me take you here now to next slide. You see here now when this Chat GPT was invented, it was introduced to the common public. What happened that time? Do you know? There was one, I think this one post which was viral. The Chat GPT, it produced an outcome something like someone asked 9.11 is greater than 9.99. So the user was asking which number is greater. And ChatGPT revealed that 9.11 is greater. And it was going viral. Though the critics of generative AI, particularly ChatGPT, were just going berserk and they were just saying so and so about this Sam Altman, they met the one who introduced this, I mean, the CEO of OpenAI, the company which owns this ChatGPT. But you know what happened? This ChatGPT or any generative AI, they don't read number as a number. They read it as a pattern. So what happened? What might have happened? I mean, guessing. What might have happened? It might have read somewhere while during the training that one is greater than 9. It does not read 9.11 as a single number. So it will read it as a token, as a small text. So then when it was being trained, so someone might have written somewhere that 11 is bigger than 9. So maybe that is the reason it read 11 as a separate number, 9 is a separate number, and then it read, okay, 9 point is same in both. 11 is bigger than 9, so let me say this is bigger than 9. Okay, 9.11 is bigger than 9.99. So it was a mistake here now. So these large language models, if you read language model, they are language models. They are not computational models actually. They are not supposed to be used for computational purpose, right? But now, if you ask this ChatGPT now, if you ask, say, for example, add two numbers, it will give you correct. And then you will ask me, why it's giving correct now? Because now the training, the data has been paired. Someone corrected it, right? Now it's this generative AI, it's interacting with the environment. It's getting the feedback from environment. Suppose I made a mistake, right? Someone corrected it, or the system made a mistake, someone corrected it, then the information is with it. So it created a new pattern, right? And that pattern is now in its part of the system, part of the its memory. Okay. But now you see here, if you ask ChatGPT now to solve even a quadratic equation, now it will solve it smartly. And before I move here now, why it is, let me give you one example here now. Not example, this is an anecdote. It's a true story actually. When I was here, one of my colleague, she came with one worksheet. She says this is a worksheet of my brother. It was based on some questions were from mathematical induction, I think Boolean algebra. Doctor, I'm not, sure about it. She was, I think, from maybe English department or maybe computer science. I'm not sure. And can you please check if these questions are correct? I say, okay, let me check. Who solved these questions? He said, my brother solved and he wanted you to check. I say, okay. Then she was sitting with me and I asked her, okay, the first question, who solved it? He said, this is my brother who solved it. I said, no, this is not your brother who solved it. Then he said, why? How can you say that my brother did not solve it? I say, because this is incorrect. Then he said, okay, he can make a mistake. I said, no, he's not making a mistake. This mistake is not human mistake. This mistake is made by machine. And you know what happened? I think that I wrote it somewhere. Let me check here. Yeah, the question. Yeah, question was something 9 raised to the power 4 plus 4 is divisible by 5. And what system did? It used mathematical induction law, and it says, okay, it's true for n is equal to 1, true for n is equal to k, and k plus 1. It proved it correctly. right? And then I say, okay, I will show you the magic now. So I asked the chat GPT, can you just solve this question? It does the same. N is equal to 1, N is equal, I don't know why it was saying N is equal to K also. Just assuming that it is true for N is equal to 1, so is for N is equal to K and K plus 1 also. I say this problem is true for N is equal to 1. Can you check for N is equal to 2? It says true. And then, of course, the chat GPT was something like so happy maybe. Then I said, check it for 3. Then again it was correct. 4. Again correct. Then I asked to check it for 5. N is equal to 5. There it realized the mistake. So the system was a bit better trained, but not perfect. Like it was not a mathematician, it was not something like doing computation. So then it realized, yes, it is not true for us, and my apologies. One thing you might have realized, it's very humble, okay? It accepts its mistake, okay? Very humbly. Not unlike we human, actually. We sometimes become very arrogant. Okay, so now the system was slightly being trained, and now you ask the system to solve it. Now I ask the system to solve the same programming, the same induction problem, and the advanced LLMs now, what they do? Now they are not using the language model only. They are being smarter. Okay, the child is growing now. So what happened now? They have their own coding system now, code interpreter we call it. So what it will do, it will create a code on in Python or R, and then it will use that code. Something like similar. Say, for example, how this our machines work, our expert system work. We create a program, same like rule, and the same rule, the same code, something algorithm or what you say program was being created by the system at the back end. It will use that system, that code, to get the answer, and then code interpreter will reveal it to you. So with you, it will come same in the same like output like in the window, but in fact on back end, it's using the coding. Okay, so this is what makes these systems smarter now, and these large language models they are being smarter day by day. Okay, so this is how they are working now. Now question arises here. Okay, we have everything with us, right? This chat GPT. I don't know how many models you know, how many generative AIs you are aware, anyone can speak. Okay, we majority of us know chat GPT. Any other model? Chat GPT, besides chat GPT, any other?
Google Gemini.
Google Gemini, okay, AI Studio, very good. Anything else?
DeepSeek.
DeepSeek is Chinese, so please avoid. We can't believe in it. Okay, we can't trust him. Not believe. I should not say believe. That's even working well. Then you had Cloud AI.
Cloudy.
You heard Cloud AI. Yeah. You heard Perplexity.
Yes,
The
sir.
CEO is an Indian guy, I believe.
Yes.
Perplexity, and they are doing wonder actually. Right. So now the problem is how we can use them in our education, in our academia. Of course, they can help us. To get our, you can say, to prepare our lecture plans, to prepare even our slides. There are several now which can prepare slides even, much faster and much better than us actually. But never ever use them verbatim. Please read before you use, read them, okay, and customize as per your need. Don't believe this generative AI verbatim. Please don't believe it. Okay. So you know what happens? I'm not sure if you tested it when it was introduced in 2022. I was just asking some research paper. So some references it created, and those references were fake. We call it hallucination actually. So what happened? Those references were created by it because it knows. If you ask some research paper, it knows how the research paper is written, how it is cited. So if you ask something about particular research, okay, you ask, okay, some say for example, Mukesh et al. 2020. It will maybe some research paper produced by Mukesh, and it is there during the training of this AI. The system has gone through that research paper. It will produce it exactly the correct one. But maybe in that year, 2020 or 2022, suppose he only produced in single author. So it will produce something which is not correct, by the way. It will say, okay, Mukesh et al. 2022, these were the author also, the name of the author also, it will add on its own, because what it knows, it might be knowing some research papers of Mukesh and the co-authors. So it will create a pattern on its own. So this is called hallucination. So avoid using it. That I mean verbatim. But now the systems are being smarter. As I say, the child is growing, bacha bada ho raha hai now. So now it's being smarter. So now it's giving even the correct references also. If you ask some that I need some research paper in so and so area, even if you see Google Scholar Lab, you please check it. Google Scholar, wonderful. Okay, so Google Scholar Lab, what it AI Lab, what it does, you give it the topic only. Okay, this topic I need something like this. It will create for you. Okay, it will sorry not create. It will search research papers for you related to that area. I will come back to that later. Now let's start with research. How we can use it in research. Okay, let me ask you here now. Majority of you might be, of course, either research scholar or you have been research scholar like me. So, what do you believe? Being a research scholar, or when we start our research, what is the first step you would like to take? What should be the first step you would like to take being a research scholar? Any idea? Question is to you. Just unmute your mic, speak. This is a discussion as I told in the beginning. Okay, please. Anyone?
Literature review, sir.
Yes, something very good. Okay, anyone else, please? So when you start research, just think if you are now a professor, so or teacher. Now you think when you started your PhD or your research, what was the first task? Okay, the first task was to find the research supervisor, right? If I'm not wrong, right? So we were struggling. Okay, I will do research with so and so and so and so, and then we approach them. Then we get the approval. Okay, sir agreed, and now I will be his or her research scholar, right? And then your teacher will guide you. So guide means what? What in the beginning teacher will do? The teacher will not ask you to write the thesis on the day one or in a month or so. No, teacher will ask you to get some topic. This is my research area. Just check in this research area what is happening, what has already researched, okay, and what is new, which is unexplored or underexplored. So what we call it? Brainstorming. So the first step is brainstorming. Now, in this brainstorming, we are searching for appropriate research topic, right? And if you go back to your days, I still, those days are vivid to my memory. I can never forget because I had a wonderful research supervisor, Pandey sir, of course. May God bless him, good health. So when I approached him, and he was that time the head of the department, he was the dean of science also, and so many assignments. So it was very difficult for me to get appointment with him, to get some time, to steal some time actually from his very busy schedule. So, and I was having no co-researcher at that time. So I was not sure with whom should I discuss. So, and even though the research papers were not easily accessible, what we have now, we had to go to the library, the physical copy of the journal, we have to search research paper, even though we don't know which research paper. That also, your teacher first, your research supervisor will tell you, hello, read these research papers in this area. So that brainstorming was not so easy in our time. But now it is being easier. Of course, Google made it easier, but now it's being even further. It's going next level here now. So what this brainstorming is doing means where you can use this ChatGPT, you can use this ChatGPT for brainstorming purpose. But now see here, if we need something from ChatGPT, I'm saying this ChatGPT or Gen AI is something like your research assistant. Now, if you need something from your assistant, if I give you assistant and you need a cup of coffee or tea from your your assistant, not research assistant, I'm saying lab, I mean some office assistant, you have to give proper instruction. If you say bring something, he or she may bring water, may bring coffee, may bring a tea, whatever. Because your inputs were not appropriate and at what time you need it. So you have to be specific. Those instructions, in case of ChatGPT, we call them prompt. So your prompt should be appropriate. Okay, let me show you here now how it works. Okay, of course you might be aware of it. I will come back, but here, say for example, if I give you, I will demonstrate it later. So if you give a prompt that I am a researcher studying a topic so and so, for example, I take here now impact of Gen AI on education. Suggest me 5 novels under researched angles, okay, not exactly the topics. Then you will create your own idea, okay. See, again and again I'm saying human brain, I don't know about the future, but as of now is far ahead of Gen AI, far ahead. The new ideas will come from you only, but it can help you to get those dots. You know better than connecting those dots, okay. But those dots, where are the dots? What are those dots? Those dots this system can get you, okay. So we give it some, I mean, appropriate prompt, then it will come up with some new ideas, maybe some research papers. If I ask some research paper, it will, just show you, okay, these could be the research paper which you can browse. If it has access, it will just, show you as a link. Otherwise, you have to go to the site, you have to go to the Google Scholar, and then browse those research papers. But now, if you see here, I was giving you an analogy of instruction. If we don't give good instruction, we cannot get good output at all. The good job will not be done if we give some vague or incomplete or confusing instruction. So this is what I'm focusing before I demonstrate how it works. Let me just show you this prompt, how we write prompt, why this science of prompting is important when we use any Gen AI, okay? Bad prompt versus good prompt, okay? So we must know what is bad prompt, what is good prompt. So good prompt is something which is specific, whatever you need, who needs, okay? Suppose you want this AI to act as a researcher, you want it to act as a reviewer. So you need to define what persona it should be, what task it need to do. Suppose you ask it to give you a topic, so it's a researcher searching here and there and coming up with a topic. In what context, the area of research, right? And in what format? You need it in tabular form, you need it some paragraphs, you need it in images or whatever. So you need to be specific. You need to be, more, you can say, appropriate input you have to write. Input, if I say, I mean prompt here now. So let me give you some examples here now. Tell me about AI and critical thinking. Suppose I'm just continuing with the same topic. Let me show you the topic again, okay? Here now. My topic is impact of Gen AI on education. So please remember it, impact of Gen AI on education. So you started now working on this research, and now you give this prompt. Tell me about AI and critical thinking. Because critical thinking is part of our education system, very much part of our education system. Is it something relevant or correct? Is it good or bad? What do you feel, guys? It is good or bad? Is it a good prompt or a bad prompt? It's vague. Tell me about AI and critical thinking. What do you want to know about AI and critical thinking? Who am I, or what do you want to be to the AI? Right? In what format, what you need in instruction. So this task, persona, context, everything almost is missing here in this prompt. So when you are trying to browse some information, you need some information from AI, please learn how to write a good prompt. So this was a bad one, right? Let's go to the next now. Another one. List all the ways Gen AI destroys students' critical thinking abilities. Is it correct? Is it something the good or bad prompt? what bad you see here now? I smell some bad. You may say, teacher, sir, Sanjay, you in fact prepared it. So you might be knowing what it is. What do you smell from here? If I say list all generative AI, those destroys students' critical thinking. So what happening? I have presumed that AI is destroying. So what happening? I am biased now. So this is not the correct, way of doing research. We need to look for the pros and cons, the negatives and positives of the research. Okay. So this is again not proper or not a good prompt at all. It is biased. Make a table about critical thinking arguments. Again, you see this is incomplete, not some, you can say the context is missing about what actually. Okay, made a table about critical thinking arguments. This is not complete at all. What do people think about Gen AI and critical thinking? Give me pros and cons. Right? In what format? The structure is poor here again. So these are some examples of bad prompts. Now again, as a reviewer, examining pedagogical implications, discuss the dialectical tensions between constructivist learning theories and technological determinism, vis-a-vis Gen AI, affordances for metacognitive development while creating a comparative analysis. You got some idea here, no? Because we are also, AI is something similar to us, something similar to human intelligence. When I am reading it, I am very much confused. You remember that there was one movie, Three Idiot, when the professor was asking the definition of machine, and then Amir Khan, he started responding something like blah 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 blah. So what the teacher said, कहना क्या चाहते हो? Something similar will come to your mind. कहना क्या चाहते हो? The same Gen AI will ask you something. कहना क्या चाहते हो? What you want from me? Right? So this is also not a good prompt. Okay, so do some research before how to write prompt. Okay, do some sort of, learn how to write prompt before you start using, particularly for your research purpose, because research is something like advanced kind of stuff. Okay, we are writing an email, something like, to my colleague or to my, say, for example, my boss. It's not so big actually, but research leaves in this implications, research leave impact to the generations, right? So that is something very much serious. I'm not saying email to the boss is also not serious. It's again serious, but not that intensity. Okay. So now come here another one. You see here now. Now I'm saying act as a lead researcher. So I'm asking ChatGPT to be a lead researcher. Whatever information it has with it, write an email to the ethics committee. Okay, explaining that our data, so this is the task I gave it to. Okay, so now persona is clear, task is clear, that our data collection is delayed by week due to software issues. So the context, why my data collection is delayed? We know the reason, the context. So it will be writing an email, right, as a researcher, not as an employee, but as a researcher, right? To, in what context? Okay, keep it formal, right? If we are writing email, we must be knowing what is the formal, what is the informal. Say, for example, if I write an email to Professor Mukesh Sharma, being a friend, my tone might be different. But if I'm writing him in his official capacity, then my tone must be different. Okay, and then we can restrict it for some number of words, the format. So now this is a good example of good prompt, right? So this is now, what we will be doing here, right? So this is another example here now of good prompts. So just read a few prompts and then how to write them before you go to research. Okay, now let's come to the GPT. Okay, how we can use it. As I remember, one of our learned audience revealed literature review. Yes. Now we did the storming, and then we know our topic, and now we start researching the existing research, the extant research in that area. So the literature review starts, right? Then we map it. So now I will be using this prompt, and I'll show you. I will demonstrate here how what kind of output it will reveal, right? So you will see here now how it works. I don't know whichever AI you are using, but I am using here cloud, by the way. Can you see my screen? The same? Another, I mean.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Okay. So now let me do one thing. I just to save our time, I type these prompts by the way. Okay. And here, let me use here now. Okay. These prompts here now. Say for example here now. This is how. Let's see here now how it looks. Again, I will say use AI, and let me do one thing. This is cloud I'm using. Okay, let me open this new chat in chat GPT also. Okay, let's see how it comes. And let me open this perplexity also. Okay, don't use one model, use various several models. I mean, if they are free, if you want to browse, you can, sorry, you want to subscribe, you can just buy one or two, not buy everyone. They are almost similar. Okay, stuff. It's thinking perplexity came with some results. You see, the wonderful here now. This is actually what it could be missing. Because I see here now we might have a wonderful researcher or maybe a supervisor, but he or she might not be having that much time that he can guide you that like he can produce the data like this Gen AI do. So as a beginner, right, it can do wonders to you. Let's see what this is doing here now. So say something like this here now. So now we have the research ideas, we have the research paper, and we have to verify if they are the correct one, okay? If they are not something like fake ones. So we go to the Google Scholar, search them, read them, okay? And make some, get some idea, write some topic or something, write some research questions or whatever, okay? Now let's see here the subsequent prompt here now, okay? Let me now ask it. Based on these perspective, what is my prompt here? I'll show you. Based on these perspectives, so different angles are produced by this AI. Based on these perspectives, create a detailed outline for a research paper titled Beyond the Hype, examining Gen AI's impact on critical thinking development in university students. Include sections heading key research. Again, I am please reminding and requesting again and again, don't use any outcome from the AI as it is. It's just giving you some sort of a skeleton, some sort of idea. Don't please use it verbatim and then submit it to the examiner. No, never at all. Please avoid it. Okay. Now let me show you here what it does here. Now let me supply the next prompt to all of them. Okay, so you see, something similar was coming from almost all. See, it was from this is Cloudy, then it was from ChatGPT, and it was from Perplexity. Okay, so let me give the follow-up prompt to all. Let me give the follow-up prompt to all. Okay, to the next one here. And this is okay, detailed research paper. So it will give you some idea here. Now you can identify which one is giving better idea. It may be cloud, it may be ChatGPT, it may be Perplexity. Perplexity sometimes it does wonder actually. But again, I'm please requesting don't use it verbatim. It gives you some idea here now. Okay, this is how you can start with your introduction. When you write your introduction, your these should be the points which you have to ponder upon, which you have to consider while preparing your research paper. Okay, problem statement, research question, whatever. Okay, this should be the structure of your research. Having this research structure now, let's see here now. We created some idea here now with the help of this ChatGPT or cloud. We created some idea. We have now the topic. We have some research questions, blah blah, something whatever was needed, whatever was instructed, it came with. But we don't know. if this is still really an underexplored or unexplored area, or is it something what we say novel to be published or to be, I mean, move ahead for research. So we want it to be criticized. Means now we got it. So our research supervisor, he guided us or she guided us, and now we got the idea. We browsed some research paper, we prepared our research title, then we started writing abstract, okay, research questions, then hypothesis, whatever. And then when we go back to the teacher, he look at I mean the work. I still remember because what I'm sharing is my experience actually. I prepared my first research paper. I mean based on the guidance which was provided by my professor. And then when I went back, he said, "What the hell is this? What this garbage is?" Because it was really because I was not fully evolved that time as a researcher. Of course, I did my MSc, I did my NET, JR, whatever. But as a researcher, I was novice. I did not know much actually. So he say then he just read it. I mean, he just gave his comment. So this is what now ChatGPT, the next step AI is going to do for you. Okay. So now I'm asking this GPT or cloud act as a reviewer too for top tier educational journal critique this outline ruthlessly because before we move we want to get वो ठोक भी लेते हैं ना किसी चीज को कि अच्छे से ठोक बजा के लेना है. So where are the methodological gaps? We of course are, I mean, just you can say proposing, we are hypothesizing, but these gaps may not be realistic. So we want ChatGPT or GenAI to use its expertise to be a critic and then reveal and then do the review. The review this paper, my idea, not paper, my idea ruthlessly. Okay, so let's see here now how it works. And here you will see the difference between these AI models, whether it is ChatGPT or actually I have Gemini, so I forgot. Yeah, it will be angry with me. Gemini, this Google AI, Gemini. I mean, so you can use them. Okay, so let's see here now what happens. Okay, major religion. So my topic, what I mean, I was going okay. I was going gaga. Hello, yeah, I got something new. Means something similar. I just connected what was happening with me. When I was going to my research, then I was saying, yeah, मेरा पहला पेपर बन गया exactly, and now I am happy with it. And then I'm going, okay, yeah, सर इसको बस कर देंगे, and then I will just submit it to the journal. And this is what happening now. What my respected teacher did to me. This is something happening here now. The AI is doing it. So at every step this AI is working as a, I mean, just you can say guide, you can say critic or research assistant. Use it for that purpose only. I think the time does not permit. I had a few more prompts to demonstrate few more stuff. What I will do means we can do some data analysis. How can we use AI for data analysis, right? Because I will stop here, but I will say one thing here now before we wind it up. So you can do. I will send otherwise this system these prompts to you. You can use them. Okay. But what I will say here now, when you are using this AI for data analysis, we can use, say, for example, I'm just asking one thing, structural equation modeling or multi-regression analysis. We have some data. We might be, suppose we want to do structural equation modeling or multiple regression, or we want to use ANOVA. ANOVA or some, I mean, basic statistical features are with Excel also, and with some little efforts we can learn them, and so we can use them. But for advanced things like, say, for example, structural equation modeling, or maybe for advanced statistical tools or mathematical, say, for example, anything which for different purposes we use MATLAB even. So now what's happening? If you don't know the coding, you can't use those systems, those tools, those software. Say, if I ask you to use R, do the programming in R. So you have to do the programming in R. If I don't know the basic of R, then it will be very difficult for me to perform any sort of data analysis in R. Here is the difference now. So now if I know programming, okay, fine. Otherwise, I have to now invest my time. I will not say waste my time. I have to invest my time to first train me on different software, whether it is R or maybe SPSS, maybe some Excel also, maybe whatever. Actually. So that time, which I could use even for better to produce better research, I have to invest that time to learn these different tools. This is where this chat GPT or these large language models are doing wonders to us. So what they do, we ask them to perform analysis. I will be just showing you here now. I think I did some sort of analysis somewhere. I don't remember where it was otherwise, long back for a research paper. So what it does here, it it will be doing the analysis for you. But again, I will be reminding here now: don't copy the analysis outcome or result from this any. I mean, you can say from this AI, whether it is a cloud, whether this is Perplexity, ChatGPT, or whatever. Don't use it as it is. Okay. Say for example, here it gave me something like this, but I have to read it, revise it further. Okay. You can use it to polish the language, and that also you should acknowledge. But don't use the same abstract. I will not be using verbatim at all. No. Let me come back to the analysis part. When you do the analysis, you don't believe in the outcome from here, but where it can help you, it can help you to generate code. So what you will do, you don't know R, you don't have any idea about Python, right? You don't even have this what we say Python script on your laptop. So what you can do? Okay, there is a solution now. This AI is doing really again and again. I'm saying doing wonder if we use it smartly, wisely. Here is this Google Colab. This is something like where we can use Python script. Okay. And we, instead of asking it to do some sort of analysis, whether it is structural equation modeling or FSQCA, we ask GPT to create code. And that code we just copy and paste. So, for example, if someone asks me, Sanjay, can you do some sort of analysis for me in R or SPSS? If I know, I will be happy. But if I don't know, I say, sorry, I don't know exactly. But now that I don't know is fading, this AI is helping us to erase that I don't know. You ask ChatGPT here now. In your own language, your own words, you give appropriate prompt in your language, right? And then it will give you output. The code, use that code, get your analysis, use it in your work. Khalas, that's it. There is no need of learning or getting trained for any software. It will save your time, right? One more thing before we wind up. Let me just share you one more anecdote. Actually, what happened with me? Sir, थोड़ा सा time लेगा मुकेश जी, if you permit, please.
Okay.
Just 1 minute only, okay? Let me show you here now what happened actually. In 2019, before the invention of or introduction of this GenAI, I was traveling to South India, Tamil Nadu. We were in Madurai, and we were traveling from Madurai to Rameshwaram, right? Southern point of our great country, India. So what I did, I requested the hotel, this staff, can you book a taxi for me? They booked it, okay. And the driver came next day, and he was so nice, so humble. But the problem was he did not know English, neither English nor Hindi. He knew only Tamil. I realized it later because there in being in hotel, this hotel staff, they loaded our stuff in the car, we sat in the car, and then he started. Then I asked, and he even started playing Hindi music. I thought maybe he's knowing, and I started speaking Hindi, and he did not reply to anything. Then I say, what to do? But we human, are known for resolving issues. So I asked, okay, something, he realized that something is happening. He says he does not, he realized that I want to say something, but he does not understand. I'm speaking in English, but he just not tuta futa only, not even tuta futa, some words. So what he did, he asked me, sir, this is my sister's number, you call her right? You speak to her, she will translate it into Arabic. So we just switched on the speaker. I was speaking in English, she was translating in in Tamil, and this is how we were doing conversation. But now that era is gone. Now, if you know the voice chat, audio chat of ChatGPT, I will show you here. I will demonstrate here now. Okay. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. I can hear you loud and clear. Let me know what you'd like to chat about or demonstrate, and I'm here to help.
Okay, can you do one thing? I am down here in Tamil Nadu, in Madurai, and one of my friend with me, my driver, he does not understand English or Hindi, which I can speak fluently, but I don't know Tamil. So I will be speaking in English, and you please translate in Tamil. Can you please?
Of course, I'd be happy to help with that. Just let me know what you'd like to say in English, and I'll translate it into Tamil for your friend.
Okay, just ask him, tell him that I will be traveling. Now we have started our journey. How long it will be? It will take to reach Rameshwaram, and which hotel are good, which area is good for us to visit. Translate in Tamil.
அவர் கேள்விப்படுத்தாராக நாம் இப்பொழுது பயணத்தை தொடங்கியுள்ளோம். ராமேஸ்வரத்திற்கு எத்தனை நேரம் ஆகும், எங்கு நல்ல ஹோட்டல்கள் இருக்கின்றன, எது நமக்கு பார்வையிட நல்ல இடம் என்பதை அவருக்கு சொல்லுங்கள்.
Thank you so much. Now only to translate, and I'm just thanking you. Okay.
There is no problem.
You're very welcome. If you need anything else, just let me know. Happy to help anytime.
So this is from my side, guys. Thank you so much. Right. So this is how technology is transforming the world now, and we can
It
use
was
it.
a very nice talk, Professor Tyagi, and we are honored to have you as our speaker in this international workshop. And this is the fourth day of this workshop: artificial intelligence, innovations, optimization, fuzzy innovations, fuzzy optimization, cybersecurity, and simulation. Really, because now we are and this is the era of the technology, and we all must know about technology, how it is can be used. But before using, we have to secure the things also. So now I invite Dr. Rima for vote of thanks.
Good, good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the organizing committee of 5 days international workshop, Department of Mathematics, and all participants, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks on this fourth day of workshop for gracing this session and enriching it with your knowledge. Your session not only deepened our understanding of from logic to learning, the evolution of AI and its transformative role in modern research, but also inspired participants to think critically about the future of AI driven research. The clarity, depth, and real world relevance you brought to the topic have truly added immense value to this workshop. And Sanjay sir beautifully explained how 9.11 is greater than 9.9. Uh-huh. You also told us for AI, numbers are text, not maths. Thank you once again, sir, for sharing your knowledge with us. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Pleasure mine always. Thank you so much. Any question, if anyone, please?
Questions, queries, then you can ask.
Yeah, feel free. This is era of logic, of course.
Yeah.
Era of ask. Era of question also.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. Yeah. Please go ahead.
If any researcher is using ChatGPT, then ChatGPT is working for him as a research assistant or as a supervisor.
No, it can work in all role, but you please consider it as an assistant always. Don't consider it as a master at all, at all. Humans, machine should never be the master of human, okay? If it happens, then that will be something like the rooms, okay? So consider it as in different roles, but finally you are the one who need to take call. You are the one who need to, I mean, take the decision or change the changes you want to make. You should be the final word, not the any AI model, not any AI model at all, not at all. Okay,
Okay,
so
thank you,
please.
sir. And the second question that when ChatGPT
No one actually briefed it about 0.11 or zero point 0.9 at all. So what happened? It might have gone through the training. It might have gone through the data where 9 was taught what it is, what 9 is, what 11 is, what 8 is, but not what 0.11 is or what 0.9 is. So these kind of trivial mistakes were happening because the model was, I mean, not well trained. बच्चा था जब तक ना actually, but बच्चा बड़ा हो गया. You know it? Now it's being smarter. Now you ask it to solve any mathematical problem until it's not using some high-end reasoning, very high-end reasoning. Until that time, it can solve the problem and with very, very, I mean, high accuracy. Mark my words. You know what? Why? Because it's using the same system what we humans were doing, right? If suppose I ask you here now 10 times 12, you will simply give me the solution. Okay, 120. If I ask you 10,332 multiplied by 11,444. Now, hello, calculator, kahan bhai jara tera? This will, this is what it is doing now. So language model, that time it did not have that calculator edge. Now it has. The code interpreter is being the calculator of this large language model now. So this ये बच्चा बड़ा हो गया काफी हद तक, but इतना नहीं मैच्योर नहीं हुआ अभी, right?
yes.
तो अभी शादी से दूर है, but it's being mature, right? Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, so much. It's wonderful to interact with you, your team, your wonderful audience. Thank you. God
Thank
bless
you,
you all.
sir.
Okay.
The next session will be started within 10 minutes. So therefore, there is a 10 minutes break for tea. Please take tea. After taking tea, we will start the session.
Okay, so if you permit, can I continue after 10 minutes? Can I just hear the?
No, sir. No, next session. Next speaker.
Okay, next speaker, you mean, right? No, I'm asking, can I be the part of the?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Okay. I will also take my tea or
Okay.
whatever break. I'll come. Thank you so much.
You
I
are
want to
always
learn.
welcome.
I
When you
always
are
learn to
coming,
learn so many things. Want to learn from you also, your team also. So I will be.
you will be coming to India in this month or next month?
I may come actually in March end. If I mean everything goes well, maybe in March end I will be coming there.
Okay.
Right. Switch it. Okay. So have a nice cup of tea. Enjoy your break. I will also be there.
Thank you, sir.
Manswita Tyagi ma'am, are you online?
Hello, sir. Yes, I'm online.
All right. So, P. Sumay Parwagi will give the introduction. Then you will share your screen.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Now it's my privilege to introduce our distinguished guest, Miss Manasvita Tyagi. Miss Manasvita Tyagi is an experienced senior product analyst with a Master of Science in Technology Management from the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign and a BTech in Computer Science and Engineering from SRM Institute of Science and Technology. She has over 3 years of professional experience driving AI-powered product development, including end-to-end life cycle management of fraud detection model for enterprise clients. Her expertise spans building scalable ML platform using Python and Docker, developing predictive sales pipelines, and deploying secure privacy compliant solutions. Manasvita has also contributed significant research in machine learning applications, publishing work on neural network for psychological studies and fuzzy interface model for employee retention. As a sought after speaker, she has delivered talks on AI analytics and product strategy, demonstrating her ability to convert complex data science into impact real world solutions. Her skills cover advanced machine learning, data science, platform infrastructure, and product analytics supported by extensive platform with tools such as Power BI and TensorFlow. She has also successfully executed multiple AI focused projects under competitive grants, further showcasing her leadership in innovation and research integration. Welcome, ma'am. You may start your presentation.
Uh, Thank you, Manaswita. On behalf of the Department of Mathematics and the organizing committee, I welcome you for delivering your insightful talk in this workshop.
Thank you, Mukesh sir, and thank you for a very warm introduction. Hello everyone. Let's begin today's talk. Today we're going to talk about why cybersecurity and AI must not just detect threats, but should also explain why something is risky. So in this talk, I will share a small example with you. One incident that led to a lot of conversation in India was Aadhaar data exposure. In 2018 issue, sensitive data of more than a million Indian citizens was reportedly accessible. This data included your date of birth, your address, and not just it was accessible to a lot of people, this was being sold for less than under 500 rupees. So what we saw was not just a huge technical glitch, it was also a failure on our end, on a lot of software professional end, to detect and explain unauthorized, unusual data access for so many people, right? Um, at first, the first thing that you saw in the news channels and in all the media coverage that we had was why did this happen, right? But as someone who sits on the data science end, we wanted to think about why did we not see it coming? It happened, we fixed it, but why did we not know about it in advance? So this is where prediction comes in. This is where we started using AI and machine learning to figure out if we can know about these data breaches and stop them from happening, right? So why did this happen with us? Why did no one notice it? Because there were a lot of operators who were accessing large amount of data in large volumes, right? So why was there no system that could track an unauthorized high volume access for these requests? Why was this being treated as a normal activity? And why were not the humans involved in this process, why were they not able to grasp this risk as early as possible? So when we thought about this problem, we put a lot of prediction models into our systems where AI or artificial intelligence can help us raise a threat score. Something like, hey, a lot of people are accessing this data right now. This is high risk. Let's give it a system score of 0.8. But think about it. If you open your laptop and you're a cybersecurity professional and you see a one liner on high risk 0.8, what do you make out of it? What do I understand from this? Yes, there is something which is highly risky, but what is it? How can I help? What caused this prediction to become so risky, and what actions can I take to stop whatever that is happening, right? So we realized that whenever AI was raising a threat score without an explanation, our intelligence, the human intelligence, was freezing. And we didn't want that to happen. So that is where the topic of this presentation comes up: explainable AI. We needed explanations so that we can build confidence in our predictive models. These explanations would enable us, the humans on the other end, to take fast and correct actions. So, this is why I call this a black box problem, because most of the tools that we have around us would always give us a score, a high risk score, a prediction score, but no one knows the cause behind this. So without reasons, even experts hesitate to move forward. And experts, like I am sure most of the people who are attending this presentation are, imagine that you give a student a problem to solve, and they just directly give you an answer with no steps. You would reject that, right? You would ask or demand for a step-by-step solution, right? So AI should do the same thing. We should treat AI in a similar way. AI must also show its work and its solution. How is it thinking? And then we should accept it, right? So this is where explainable AI comes in. Explainable AI shows the reasoning behind these large decision models. It tells us what mattered, how much it mattered, why the model decided that something is risky, what features did it use to decide the riskiness of a particular incidence. So this entire field is called the explainable AI field. It's a pretty developing field, and we just have a couple of a couple of solutions or frameworks out there which can help make these explanations more clear. So if anyone's more interested in moving forward with AI, a lot of people are building models and prediction scores, but very less amount of people are actually working on explainable AI, and we should work more in that direction, I feel. So with the Aadhaar card problem that we saw, right? If an explainable system would have existed in a situation like this, any person or any software professional, any analysts sitting on the other end would have seen explanations like unusual data access detected. This activity is 20 times higher than normal. Sensitive data is being accessed. Please take some action. Rather than just receiving multiple just receiving a score that, hey, this is risky 0.86. It would have been better if we would have received if we would have received explanations before just getting the scores. So overall, I feel that there are different models that we can use, different ways in which you can explain the predictions that have been generated. Mostly, the most popular ones are SHAP and line models. So the way SHAP works is it shows the contribution of each factor that led to a particular prediction. So, for example, in the Aadhaar case, if they saw that one particular feature which was related to bulk access was causing high risky prediction, it would have gotten a higher score, a score of 0.42. Similarly, if they would have seen that there are high speed queries, that would have caused a higher score. Valid logins reduced, so that would have led to a score reduction. And on the overall, you would have received a high score, and then breakdown of these scores alongside the contribution of each factor. SHAP is called Shapely Additive Explanations. It would again assign contribution values to each feature. The entire concept of SHAP values are based out of game theory, and it's perfect for cybersecurity domain because it gives you the importance of each factor separately. The other model that we can use to explain these predictions is the line model, which is the local interpretable model agnostic explanation. I know that sounds very big, but it just breaks down one even further. So, for example, it would check that there are unusual fields in in this particular request, and that unusual field is happening 24% of the time. Suspicious IP is being reported 16% of the time, and odd timings 14% of the time. So line helps you understand why now question. The core idea behind Lime is that it explains one prediction at a time, and it creates a very simplified local model, like a linear regression model, to explain these features. Finally, if you have to decide between either of these two frameworks, if you want something which is more global and which gives you more global and local insight, you should use SHAP. It is definitely better for deeper investigations. But if you want something fast and quick with more local explanations, you should use Lime. How does explainable AI help us? Well, it reduces, most of the time it can help us by also reducing false alarms. It prevents unnecessary panic. Sometimes developers on one end are just testing for stuff, and we don't want to use the testing and your routine government office lookups to cause noise or alert fatigue. So it definitely helps. Apart from giving you all the explanation, it also helps in reducing false alarms. One question that I do get regularly is, this all sounds good, but how do I add this to my system? Should I redesign everything? The good thing is you don't have to redesign. It is mostly usable with all the other models that are available. Only use these to explain your high priority alerts, and use lightweight explainability models so that the size of your overall deployment reduces. You can cache your results, and then simple changes like these can actually make bigger impact. It's easier to make complex things, I feel. It's difficult to have simple explanations, but although it's difficult, it makes life easier. But again, I would say explainable AI is not perfect. Sometimes there are issues where data drifts can make all these explanations pretty outdated. Sometimes attackers can use these signals, they can manipulate these predictable signals, and you need to have stronger compliances nice compliances to store all these logs, right? Because a lot of compliance related issues arise because of all these factors. The final story, I would say that Aadhaar incident teaches us the danger of silent systems. Having systems where signals might exist, but you can't really explain them. You can't really explain the threat behind them. It's as good as not having a system in place. So we need to ensure that we have enough visibility into the predictions, into the risk threats that sit behind. And also, the human intelligence needs to work faster when you're in these situations, right? So, in order to increase our trust towards AI and to increase our processing speed, it's better to have explainability. And I feel explainability would transform AI, from noise into intelligence. With that, I would like to close up. This is the best quote that comes into my mind. Any kind of prediction is a noise, but an explanation attached to it is intelligence. And we should actively work towards adding more explanation to our predictions, and then we'll have a very solid system in place. I think that's all I had. If you guys have any question, I'm open to any questions that you guys have.
Are you guys taking questions online?
Any query from audience side?
Can I ask one question, Manaswita? If you permit,
Yeah.
Yes,
please.
sir.
Sure.
Okay, Sanjay from UAE. I will just, first of all, thank you so much for your wonderful presentation. I had just one question actually. I don't know if it lies in your domain. We share information with ChatGPT or any Gen AI model. Is it okay or is it safe and secure to share our personal information with any AI model? Any AI model? Is it secure or is there any threat?
Interesting question. Most of us don't know this, but whenever we install these models or apps or ChatGPT, for example, we explicitly give them access to our privacy. For me, I prefer not sharing my information because any information that you share with them is stored for training, right? It's advisable to not share your personal information because it would 100% be stored in their systems for training. Please do not share any media. Do not give complete access to your galleries, your photo galleries, to any of these apps. At least that's what I do personally, and it's the recommended practices because, in legal terms, when you install most of these apps, you give them these accesses. You can shut it off in the privacy setting. But to answer it in short, they store this data. We should not share it with them.
Okay, thank you so much.
I have a question, Manaswita. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Awesome talk, by the way. I learned a lot. Quick question on the alerting part. Are these two frameworks that you shared, Lime and Shape, are they only useful once when an alert has already triggered, or can we also use them to create more real-time systems where we can like monitor specific channels and fire alerts that way? For example, if I don't know, for a sales cycle kind of a machine learning problem, if the age of somebody who's owning the insurance is triggering this alert, can we do something that creates a real time alert instead?
Yes. So this is the interesting part. Shape and lines work in real time, right? You can use them during your training, but it is really impractical if you keep using them while you're training the model, right? It's basically of no use, right? So, ideally, you should work with them in real time, if that's the question. Post incident investigation is good. Root cause analysis is what they are perfect for, but you should use them in real time.
That's good. Thank you, Manishita. Awesome.
But Manishita, here we are talking key and explanation is intelligence.
Mhm.
But when we talk about the computational intelligence,
Mhm.
so is there any relationship between these two?
Between computational intelligence and
If we do computations, after that we will be in the position to explain the things intelligently.
yes,
Is it?
yep. After we do model computations, yes, exactly. So, for example, let's say that we are trying to build a model computationally to predict a person's height, right? So, this model used the father's height, mother's height, the background, the racial profile of the person, right? And it gave us this prediction that XYZ would be 6 feet tall,
Yeah.
right? This is done. This computation is done. Now, I, as someone who's receiving this information, would say like, okay, I understand that this person is 6 feet tall, but why? Why is this person 6 feet tall? So mathematically, when we reverse engineer it, we realize that we received this person is 6 feet tall because the model considered the mother's height to be a dominant factor, right? So model's height, the weight for mother's height received uh, higher importance according to the model, and that is why the person's height was high. So this way we can link the weights that were used during that training to the final outcome, that bridging together the computational intelligence and the explanation factor.
One more thing, when we are talking about XAI, that is explainable AI.
Mhm.
So, which is specific? Is there some specific areas, first areas in which we can apply this concept of XAI?
Um, Cybersecurity is the best one. Also in fraud detection, insurance fraud detection, property fraud detection, we can use explainable AI. One recent project I was working on was we were using explainable AI to understand what salesmen are selling what products, also what sales deal are we closing successfully. I'll give you a short example. I had built a prediction model which would say that we are going to sell product A 80% of the time. When I gave this prediction to one of my managers, he told me, why do I trust it? What makes you think that we are going to sell this product 80% of the time? And I had to explain it to them, right? How could I explain it? I had to deploy line and shape models into my prediction. So I think these are a couple of the fields that I'm aware of where we can use explainable AI: cybersecurity, sales, insurance, fraud reduction.
Can we try this XAI in health or medical diagnostic approaches?
We can, but I think this in anything that requires medical or legal assistance, alongside having explainable AI, it's good to have that along with human insight, right? To make the entire process more robust. Theoretically, 100%, we can have this in healthcare and in legal areas, but we do need humans alongside it so that we have a robust system.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. On behalf of the organizing committee, I extend my sincere gratitude to Ms. Manashwita Tyagi for delivering such an engaging and insightful session. Your talk on From black box to glass box, explainable AI for cyber threat modeling. Wonderfully highlighted how explainable AI can make cybersecurity models more transparent, trustworthy, and easy to understand. We deeply appreciate the clarity with which you simplify technical ideas, showing how AI can not only detect threats but also justify its decisions. Thank you once again, ma'am.
You're welcome. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Masvita. And really, it was a very nice experience to hear your views on AI, XAI, generative, and many more, and how these security breaches buzzing by using this UDI Aadhaar card and other things. Really, it was a very wonderful session. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
We will assemble tomorrow at 9 am.
Tomorrow the session will start at 9:30, and before 9:30 we have to assemble here 9 a.m. for breakfast, and there is some changes in the program. The session validatory session will be started by 1:30 p.m. The lunch will be 12:30 to 1:30. Before lunch, we have two sessions, one from Mr. Ayush and from USA, and another session will be by from DRDO expert scientist Dr. Yusuf Ansari. After that, there will be lunch, and we will start the validity at 1:30 a.m. 1:30 p.m. Okay. In the validity session, there will be keynote address by Professor J.C. Bansal on computational intelligence from South Asian University. And as we know, Professor Bansal is doing a very good job in the meta-heuristic algorithms, and he has developed many meta-heuristic algorithms. One of them is Spider-Man. So tomorrow we will assemble at 9 a.m. for breakfast. After breakfast, there will be session. Thank you. Thank you, Lord. Thank for